just forgotten how big Willie actually is.
Perhaps the presence of Willie and the Panthers looking at his imposing frame.
I'm a 25-minute man. Plus. Oh, you got skill, son.
Uppercut right hand by Big Willie.
Too fancy for you.
Welcome to episode number 4
shit.
of The Take, Season 3, The Take with Willie and Ian. Welcome. This is the love god, Richard Mercer.
You sound like him.
I did then. Do you know what it is? It's the shorts. And if you had a new hair.
If this guy could stand up, you'd be laughing your ass off.
They're good shorts. I've come straight from training and the mighty Randwick shorts, and they're a bit tight. They are a bit tight, but I've got good legs. So now as we speak, William, the Shane Warne Memorial's going on. It's a very sad day for Australian sport and for his family. And it's amazing, actually, when you look at the amount of people that have come out for it or sent videos or, you know, if anyone wonders whether sport transcends society, then this is the sort of thing that shows that whether it's politicians or whether it's musicians or whether it's other sports people or it's just the general public, sport can grab you and it can make life better. So
it just proves how great Warnie was as a person, as a cricket player. You know, just the impact that he's had on people's lives. You know, rest in peace, Warnie.
Yeah. Very sad. I'll go and watch
very
it
sad,
afterwards. Going to raise a toasted cheese sandwich. Probably didn't drink that much. Now, William, this time last week, the boxing roadshow of sort of sports stars going into the fight game rolled on. Sonny Bill.
Yep.
He had his fight against Barry Hall. You were at the fight yourself, supporting your great mate Sonny Bill. You're also friends with Barry Hall. They're both good people. But what was it like out there?
Yeah, it was electric. The atmosphere was crazy, especially there's a fight before it with Fleming and the last England. That was just 10 rounds of these blokes just punching the piss out of each other. I think I'm not sure what weight. I think they were 58 kilos. And did you see that fight?
Mate, I'm not. They didn't get my $50.
Okay,
I was actually waiting for.
Yeah,
someone
but it was it was brutal. It was for 10 rounds, so that was a really good warm up. You know, 10 rounds is a long time. You want to see a knockout, and then obviously when Sonny Bill and Barry Hall come out, it was just the place was jumping. It was amazing, and then Sonny got the win in outstanding form. You know, it was quite sad for Baz. You know, like I think he really wanted to showcase the hard work that he's put in and how much of a decent boxer he is, because he can actually box. He just didn't get the opportunity. He got rattled early, and Sonny took full advantage of it and ended up getting the knockout. So it was a great night for Sonny Bill, and he deserves everything he gets. He there's no person that works harder than him. I know Baz would have been working just as hard, but like Sonny, he's one of those guys like who flies over to the north of England, to train with like Tyson Fury and Joseph Parker, and don't think that didn't change his whole demeanor, confidence, and everything like. Because I saw him when he come back, and he learned so much, and he went over there. He doesn't leave a stone unturned, man. He's crazy. I trained with him this morning. He's just a super fit, crazy athlete. He's just ridiculous. He's 36 years old, and he's not even slowing up. It's unbelievable.
And he's going to, for those people, two things that I'd like to say as well. Anyone who thinks that Barry Hall didn't try or threw the fight or whatever, you try getting punched in the temple.
What an idiot. Who would even think like that? But I just got to go, look, just credit to both guys for even having the balls to get into that ring. You just got to, if you haven't been in the ring before, you don't know what sort of pressure it was. Sonny was nervous, Baz was nervous, and like anything could have happened, but Sonny got off first. He got there, demanded the middle of the ring like he said he would, and he got it. So well done. Both fighters. It was massive. Yeah. It was like, it was such a big event, I think the pay-per-views were just out of this world. Like Stan put such a great job on. It was just a good atmosphere. It was crazy. I think, everyone would have liked it to go longer, apart from probably Sonny. He's like, I want to end this as quick as I can.
And probably Barry Hall.
Yeah, it was a good stoppage and by the refs, and because I think maybe just say if that was in two pros, you know what I mean, like fighting for a championship, WBO or WBC. I think Baz would have they would have let Baz up.
Yeah.
But because they're very aware of the sports that they've played and HIAs and the head knocks with today's sport, they put that to bed straight away. soon as you got rattled like that, you don't want to see anything like that happen to both these people because they've put so much work in. Like they're not boxers, you know. One was one of the greatest AFL players, and Sonny Bill's one of the greatest rugby league / union players. So that's their sport, that's their domain. They're not boxers, you know. Like so, credit to both those dudes, man. It's crazy.
Imagine they had HIAs in boxing. That'd be good.
No one would be fighting.
Straight to the bunker.
Yeah.
Actually, speaking of the bunker, what about Kurt Mann? Gets an HIA, got kicked in the agates, and he gets an HIA because the bunker doctor goes, he's concussed. What? He got kicked in the nuts.
Yeah,
It's
wrong head.
just
Wrong head. Get it
Solid.
right. Bunker getting more shit wrong. That's unbelievable.
It's a shock. Do you know what, though? The Sonny Bill Williams Barry Hall fight was not the best fight of the week.
What are you trying to show, Henry? What does that mean? That
I
is the
can't.
work. Go to school.
That is awful.
This is from our co-producer. He's trying to write some shit and he just didn't even spell it right. Buddy Franklin, 1,000 goals. Congratulations,
I thought he was
kid.
going to say you're my buddy. I was like, all right, Henry, don't get clingy.
Yeah, that was massive. Don't you think, Buddy kicking 1,000, but the crowd running on, how good was that?
Yeah, I know. Except for the Geelong players who were like, I'm actually going to get stabbed here. Someone's going to stab me.
It was crazy. It was great scenes, but like Buddy Frank, he's a freak, man. He deserves that.
You know the best thing as well about Henry interrupting me then is that he ruined my segue to the Will Smith getting punched in the head. I was going to say that wasn't
Will
the
Smith
best
getting
fight.
punched or
No,
Chris Rock?
One of them. Someone got punched.
Chris
Do you know
Rock.
what? How funny is it that something like that happens? And I don't know, Will, it looked... There's got to be question marks about whether it was real or not. But
Yeah, the conspiracy theorists are all out there saying it was a load of shit because no one gives a fuck about the Oscars, but now everyone does.
he just slapped him straight.
Something
in the
else
face.
could be happening in the world, people. All right, keep your eyes open.
That wasn't even Will Smith. That was Vladimir Putin dressed up like Will Smith. It was striding at America's heart at the Oscars.
Oh shit, that was crazy. That was weird, wasn't it?
It's just weird.
I think it
like,
was bullshit.
Well, I thought it was until he started saying, "Get my wife's name out of your."
He's like one of the best actors of all time. Pretty sure he can fake that.
Yeah, I reckon Mike Tyson. Bring him as the host of the Oscars next year, and I'll be slapping him in the face.
That's been a meme as well.
Has it?
Yes,
Oh,
you just
see?
did not make that shit up.
I did.
You did?
Yeah.
Wow, it's been all over the fucking internet.
Oh, now I feel like an idiot.
Looks like that's staged.
Righto. All right. Well, it's not.
Righto, Will
so-
Smith.
Do you know what though? I am better on Twitter now. For all those
You've been
people.
killing Twitter.
Yeah, I like Twitter now. People are nice on Twitter. It's good. So tell you what, it's not nice. Mitch Barnett's elbow to the fucking head. That was awful to watch. And he's got
Disgusting.
6 weeks. There's 2 schools of thought now. Now, the first school of thought is that it was horrific and he deserved 6 weeks, maybe more. The second school of thought is that it was kind of an accident and he was just checking and releasing.
Who said that?
Well, there's been
Is it Paul Kent?
He
Does
did say
Paul
it.
Kent arguing with Braith saying he was trying to check and release? Like he wasn't even in the in the play. He was running a decoy. You know what I mean? Like you got to check and. I don't think Paul Kent obviously doesn't know anything about the game, but that is not a check and release, PK. Understand the game, mate.
He hit him fair in the chin.
It was cheap. It was blatant. It was probably one of the worst things I've seen for a while on the football field. He better be thanking God the NRL cleaned everybody's slate. Otherwise, he would have been looking at 12 to 16. I'm not sure. I mean, like, what? Play devil's advocate here. Like, what happened? What would happen if Chris Smith broke his jaw?
Well, then
Are
it
you
would be-
waiting? Are you waiting for that?
Yeah,
you know what I
it's
mean? Like,
outcomes.
it's
Yeah.
that you're waiting on the outcome to see how severe it is. You know, like, or you just look at what he did and how cheap and blatant it was, and you know, I'll be looking at that. Do you have to wait for someone to break his jaw and then you give him like 12 to 16 to stop that sort of dirty shit? Like Chris Barnett is a great kid. He's a good bloke. You know what I mean? Like it was just out of character. I know the kid plays hard and tough. He does. But like that was just like a brain snap. I've never seen shit like that before. Just like straight elbow straight to the head. I'm not sure if they've got any like beef going on behind the scenes, but I don't think so. But like it was just really weird. Like go past and just like, you know, give him a little chin check. Very, very weird and bizarre. And just, yeah, he should be thanking God that he got 6 weeks.
The thing for me is at the judiciary, there's reckless or careless, and they've got all these terms. I reckon they should have, like if you've hit a bloke and it's a head high tackle and you've just got your feet wrong and you've come in and you've hit a bloke high.
Yeah.
That's so much less bad than
what that was.
Like intentionally come out and done something cheap. They should have a grading saying how cheap it is. If it's a cheap shot,
but he was not he was not protected.
No.
He was relaxed, running through the line. It's the last thing he probably expected was an elbow to the face. So, all those variables that come into it, and you got to look at it and go, well, how much does he actually deserve?
Well, what about Big Nelson?
I thought he was going to get 12 weeks, to be honest.
Yes, I think a lot of people did. So, and the other thing as well, on the same weekend,
Big Nas,
you've got Big Nelson,
nasty Nas,
Asafa Solomona. He's come out and nearly decapitated the bloke from Parramatta, Makatoa, and I don't understand how.
Was he trying to check and release?
He was checking and releasing.
PK said he's trying to check and release.
I don't know. He got a fine, and he literally, they had been going at each other during the game.
Mm.
Don't tell me he didn't line him up.
Yeah,
there's no way in the world he didn't line him up. And
that was bizarre. I was hoping because the Bulldogs take on Melbourne on Sunday that he was going to get suspended, only because I've got an agenda. That's it. If it was anyone else, I would have went, his fine's all good. That's all good. But, I wanted him to get suspended and have a week off against our boys because he's in some good form, man. He's hard to stop. He's playing with some anger this year. He ain't taking shit. Like, even that, like, to do that, he's just like, fuck your rules.
Yeah, he planted his feet.
Yeah, he wanted on. So, I'm not sure if that other kid saw what he did in Bali. But, don't piss him off.
Maybe he was asking if he'd been vaccinated or not.
Go and get fucking vaxxed. Bang. That's what you get. Don't ask those questions.
All right. Ranging on from Nas to Haas.
Payne Haas.
Now, I have an issue with this. I have an issue with Payne Haas. He's a 22-year-old. He's coming through. He's played first grade for 4 years. He's probably the premier prop in the game. Would you agree?
Yeah.
So if he's the premier prop in the game and someone is prepared to pay him more than what he's getting paid now, then terrific. Someone should pay him that. He's now being accused of the amount of stuff you read.
Holding Brisbane to ransom.
He should just do his time now and then he, like Lazo and the Chief, he'll get paid later.
Shut up. Who's saying this shit?
I just don't
Journos
understand.
again?
No, it's everyone.
Just shut up. The kid's got, probably 10 more years at his peak. He's 22 years old. If anyone deserves a 10-year deal, if I'm going to sign 10 years, I'm signing him.
At 22.
At 22 years old.
Yeah.
And I'm paying him $1 million is not enough. It's not enough. He should be on 1.3 mil now.
$1 billion.
Take all the cap, man. Stuff it. I don't care. He is a one-man wrecking machine, and anyone who gets him, I think, the Roosters will be out there trying to get him because, Hargraves is at the end of his career. Takayaho and all these boys are getting a little bit older, played a lot of games. Uncle Nick might, he'll be reaching out. There'll be a lot of Sydney clubs, and he deserves every cent. The kid plays massive minutes. He's so effective in everything he does. He always finds his front, does all the little things so brilliant. Like anyone who's a student of the game would look at him and go, "That's the best. That's one of the best prop in the game, easily." You know what I mean? Like he's outstanding. Plays 70 minutes. Like he's effective tackling. It's like, he's about 90%, 95%. He does everything good. He's a good leader, a great kid. Pay that man. And he deserves. I mean, he don't owe loyalty to Brisbane, man. Get down to Sydney. Get down here. Someone's going to pay you, kid.
Someone.
I'm not even going to say.
Someone.
But I want him to get out of there. He's done his time. If Brisbane want to lowball him and say, yeah, you're only worth like $750, you want to save for the cap, fuck that. Get the hell out of there. Get a $1 million+. Set your whole life up. Set your family up. Because at the end of the day, Brisbane does not give a shit about you. They just care about your talent, kid. Look after yourself, secure the bag, and then just that's it. Just look after yourself, man. He's just such a great kid. Don't fall into this loyalty bullshit. Get the hell out of Brisbane. Get to Sydney. I know a team. They might need you.
No names. This feeds into my hatred of player managers because essentially all that happens now is Payne Haas changes managers, right? So he's had a fallout with his managers. Managers have got in his ear and said, you should be earning more money. He probably should be earning more money. But he signed a deal 3 years ago or whatever. All of a sudden he's the best prop in the game, so he's worth more money. Now, at the end of the day, if the manager wasn't in the press trying to drum up, and that's what they do. They go to the press and they say, Payne isn't happy. Payne's not happy at Brisbane. So other clubs come and they offer money. And these managers, they do not care about the fact that Payne Haas, he's just trying to play footy. He's just trying to go up there and live his life and play the best he can for his team. And all of a sudden, his name gets dragged through saying he's greedy and he's this. He's not greedy.
Because that's what sucks, because the managers give everyone else an opportunity to have a comment.
That's all it is.
There's not one word said by Payne Haas. So that's what most of the people need to understand. Most of the fans, most of Brisbane fans, all this kind of stuff, he hasn't said one word. No. All he's trying to do is trying to win games for Brisbane. And he's been your best player all year. So lay off the kid. He's only 22 years old. You know what I mean? Like, managers, just shut the fuck up. Like, Payne Haas is going to pay for himself. You don't need a manager to try and drum up his money. He's going to be the highest paid forward ever to play the game when he wants to do his deal.
Look, and the other thing that annoys me, other than professional sport, where a salary is so well known and talked about, and Ash Taylor's not worth $1 million a year. Ash Taylor's worth whatever he signed for. Anyone is worth whatever they signed for. It is so unfair for these blokes who are already under pressure. No one knows what your dentist earns or what the Garbo
My
earns.
dentist, because he got a fair bit. No, but I agree. I agree. Like, it's just one of those sports, and they've just everyone can find out what everyone's on.
But I don't agree with it. I don't think that this should be in
sport,
the public
but
domain.
what sort of sport does not show how much a player's earning?
Not
like, if you go for NBA, the NFL, soccer, every single team, cricket, everyone. You can just Google this shit.
Yeah.
Not saying it's spot on, but like every sport, they're not hiding that shit. Trust me.
No, they're not. And
It's not. It's like public. It's on public domain, I suppose. It's like, it's ridiculous. Well, but it is what it is. And then it just gives people an excuse just to have a crack at a kid. Like Ash Taylor copped a shit like $1 million man, $1 million man, all this kind of stuff, like, not his fault that the Titans were stupid enough to pay him $1 million. He would have laughed his ass off.
Yeah. I'd take it.
No. I don't think I deserve it, guys. I haven't proved myself yet. I'm only a young kid. I think I should be on around about 350.
200.
Shut the hell up.
200.
Shut up.
Give the rest to Proctor.
Yeah, give me some match payments. I'll just leave off match payments.
So, speaking of rosters, actually, the roster management that's where salaries are important, because you need to be able to manage your salary cap and make sure that your side is competitive based around a number of different metrics. You need your attacking players. You've got to have your defence. The Tigers have got the worst, as far as I'm concerned, the worst roster in the NRL, right? So if I look at that side on paper, there's not too many teams that I look at on paper and I go, the Tigers should beat them, right? So if their roster's so poor, how is it, unless Michael Maguire's signing every player on his own bat, I am so sick of hearing about the West Tigers every week, and are they going to sack Madge? Their players have been playing putrid.
Yeah, underperforming. They really are underperforming, and I hate it when they put it on the coach solely. It's not the NFL. They're not calling plays for people. All they try and do is prepare you for that game. You know what I mean? Like, they don't train you. They're not there. You're not the weight trainer. You're not the physical trainer. You're not the S&C. You're not anything but football coach. And these kids are just underperforming. That's it. And they've been underperforming for 3 years since he's been there for 3 years, and they've been underperforming for 3 years. Like Luke Brooks and all these kids, Luke Brooks 3 years ago was halfback of the year.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, everyone thought that he was going to be, the next big thing, would have been pushing for Origin and all this kind of stuff. But, like, he's just digressed so much. And that's not on Madge. Like, you don't think, Madge is just trying to... Coaching at the NRL level is all about man management. Understanding players, characters, egos, managing all that during the year to try and get the best out of them for that 80-minute effort. And they're just not doing it. They're just underperforming. There's a couple of standouts. I think Luciano Leilua's been playing well. I think Jackson Hastings was playing well the first couple of rounds. But, like, they're back five, and a couple of their forwards have just been really disappointing.
Wonder how the Cowboys feel now that they've signed Luciano Leilua and they've got that Nanai.
Have the Cowboys signed him?
Yeah, he's playing up the next year. So they've got that Lukey.
I think Luciano plays on the left side.
They've got plenty of back rowers though.
But that Lukey kid's good.
He's good.
Nanai's good.
Nanai's, you know what I mean? Gilbert goes
3
okay.
tries. Yeah, they've been going good. That was a really good performance from the Cowboys.
Don't
But
you
like they're
reckon-
young kids. But like, hey, he's got some
he's a
skills.
good
He's got some
player.
X factor. Luciano, and that's another junior they've lost. Like, so a kid like that who is a Sydney boy to make the move to go up to North Queensland is massive, because I don't think the money would have been that much different. He just wants out.
Yeah.
So that's not a good sign for those guys, because he's only young. It's not like he's going up there to retire. Like I think the Mad Cow might have give him third-party sponsors.
He's definitely got drink vouchers.
Big Red. Shout out to Big Red up there. Red Dogs. What's happening?
You're still VIP. You paid
Everywhere.
You paid his mortgage in 2010. The thing as well, like if you look at the Tigers, they reckon with Maguire that he came in and he's a tough coach and that he's hard and he trains them too hard and all that, and then they told him to soften, so he softened. Now, from my perspective, if that's true, and he's changed his coaching philosophy, a philosophy that won a comp, because they said you're being too hard on him, well, he deserves to get sacked.
How soft's that?
You
If that's true,
Do you know what I
it's
mean?
just-
Go in and do your job the way you think your job, and live or die by the sword.
Yeah. I think he tried to do that, and I think they pretty much told him, if you keep doing that, we're going to sack you.
Well, then just get sacked. Walk away.
You know what I mean?
Don't change
I
yourself.
think he's a good coach, Madge. He was pretty gifted when he got to South, but he still won a comp. Doesn't matter. He was coaching grown ass men at South. Now he's got a bunch of kids.
He didn't have Burgess and Inglis and Reynolds.
Yeah, they had a gun
Tigers.
side. So, Sutto and Ben Teo and all these sort of guys. They had a great side, but like they still could have easily lost that. But yeah, it just sucks that whole position at the Tigers. It's just they're really, they're disappointing. And people just, when you get beat, people just keep piling it on.
This is going to come as a huge surprise to everyone listening, but this is actually the first podcast this year we've drunk in.
Yeah, I know.
It's the first night one. It's good. Back on the young Henrys. I'll be hilarious in about 20 minutes. The other people that can't coach apparently are one B Slater, one C Smith, and one J Thurston. They can't coach Origin. They've never coached before.
Who's saying that?
Well,
I
that's
just want to know.
That's another P Kent special.
I don't think he obviously doesn't understand Origin.
He's been
You don't
guilty.
really have to be a genius coach.
So tell us about Origin. So you've got the blokes that are at the peak of their game. You've got people that like Cherry Evans that have been there and done it, running a side. Then you've got people like the 3 greatest Origin players ever who come in. They're not setting huge game plans.
No.
Tell us about
Origin
Origin.
is the hardest game, but the easiest game. You know what I mean? It's all about will. It's all about guts. It's just all that thing, all those things that they talk about. It's just like making Origin runs, making Origin plays. Like you're so fatigued. You're playing against the best of the best, and you don't really have a game plan. You don't. You know what I mean? You think Mal was there running plays for GI and Jonathan Thurston, Darren Lockie, Cooper Cronk, Cam Smith. You know what I mean? Like you're not. All you're trying to do is get them up for that 80-minute effort, and that's where man management comes in. That's all you're doing. You're not trying to change anyone's style of play. You're not telling them to run different lines. You're not telling them to do anything different than what they're doing at club level, week in, week out. You keep doing that. You know what I mean? Like you don't have to be a genius. Imagine having like Cam Smith and JT and Billy Slater as your coach if you're a young kid.
Wouldn't want to let them
Like
down.
you just don't want to let those guys down. That's what Mal Meninga had. He had that aura. He's Mal Meninga. They don't want to let him down. Coincided with those guys being, arguably the greatest Origin players, arguably the greatest players of all time in that squad. There's about 10 Hall of Famers in that squad from 2006 to 2014. It's unbelievable. So why wouldn't you want to have Cam Smith there? Jonathan Thurston. Like the things that they could teach these young kids, it's priceless. Who do you want to listen to? These guys are still relevant. They're still like, they understand the game. Like, is it Paul Green? Like, is it like Neil Henry? Like, who else is there? Kevy Walters? Like, he can't coach now, but like,
I think they missed a trick, to be honest, without getting Anthony Seibold in.
yeah. But like, I don't think anyone should be commenting on Cam Smith, Jonathan Thurston, or Bill being the head coach.
Especially before this. Like, if they lose 3-0, fair enough. Then you can have a chat. But
And it's not like the late 2000s, like 2010s when they were so dominant. Because if they do get beat, they're going to get hammered, these guys. JT, they're going to blame the coaches. But, maybe give New South Wales some credit. We went through some coaches, Ricky Stewart and, Laurie Daly and Graham Murray, God rest his soul, Craig Bellamy, all these guys, they got sacked because we didn't win. So give these guys a chance to grow, to grow that state back up. It's going to be 100 years before they have that same era. It's going to be hard.
I hope they get flogged. The good thing about getting up to round 4 is that you can start to really smell some of the games. You just go, that game stinks. I've got no interest in it. These two teams are dreadful. And there's some really good games that you look forward to seeing. So
what's your game?
Well, the first game is the Titans versus the Tigers. And I can
Do we have to talk about all these clubs?
Well, do you know what? Let's just go quickly through. So the Titans last week, the capitulation against Canberra, worrying. That was worrying.
That is worrying. Because what were they winning? 22-0, 2020?
Yeah, 22-0 or something. And then how do you lose that?
Half time happened, and then Ricky Stewart just rattled his troops, and they come out and perform. Sometimes halftime is the worst thing for some teams and the best thing for some teams. You just need to sit back, recalibrate. But like 22-0, different if it's 16-0, 18-0. You score that first try, like, yeah, we're 2 tries off, but 22-0, you're like, oh, damn. It might be out of our reach, especially like if you're Canberra and you're being down it's not like you're playing against Melbourne at their peak, or a real decent side. Like Canberra just showed they got some grit and they got some balls. They come out and won. The Titans would be really shattered with that. They would be shattered.
Well, they're going to want to put a show on. And I tell you what, the poor old Tigers, they got no Jackson Hastings. They got no big Stefano Udakamano. He's gone now with an injury. So
is he? He's a good kid.
He's got syndesmosis. People used to call that a sprained ankle. Remember that?
Yeah, syndesmosis.
Now we're all calling it syndesmosis. We're all
just rolled your ankle.
We're all doctors.
Nah.
He's got a sprained ankle now. But he's gone. So Tigers, the Tigers, if they lose another game, all we're going to hear about all week is how bad the Tigers are and how Maguire's going to get sacked. Yeah. So please win.
Just get over it.
Go the Tigers.
Anyway,
the Sharks and the Knights. I think the Knights are
paying $2.80. That's a little bit.
That's disrespectful.
I think Ponga might be back.
He is.
Sharks have been good, man.
Sharks have been good.
Quite impressive. So this will be a good game. Knights and Sharks have always been a good battle.
That's actually, I reckon, and they've put it on that graveyard time of 6 p.m. Actually, one of my good mates, Griffiths, hello, Di. He was listening to the show the other week when we were saying about how, like, 6 p.m. is just a dog shit time for a game.
It is, isn't it?
And he goes, you know what? He goes, there's a million people that are smarter than you that have worked on billion-dollar broadcast deal. And he goes, maybe they know what they're talking about. And I said, you know what, Di?
Maybe.
I know more than all of them.
Yeah,
and
you
so
do.
does Will. Me've just solved.
It sucks.
I should be working for Channel 9.
You should be.
And
or Fox.
I'd put this game at. I would put this at the 8:05. No, Panthers.
Nah, Panthers Rabbits. That's the game.
Well, I'd put that at 4:04. What Storm Bulldogs? So I can't say.
Yeah.
That.
No, you can.
That's a dog shit game.
Yeah, I don't know. Sharks and Knights. That'd be all right. Be a good game.
That would be a
good test for the Sharks. I mean, Knights. They played well last week, losing Barnett and Nelly. Getting the Panthers till about the 75th minute before they put it to bed. Yeah. So it was a good effort. They've got a different team now.
The grand final replay always throws up some interesting sort of results. Generally, the side that loses the grand final. Do you know what? I was just about to make that up.
Well, Panthers, you just did. Panthers got Cleary back. Yep. They got Fisher Harris back.
Well, he's on the extended bench. Seaman Lamar.
Yeah, well, they said 3 weeks, so they're usually spot on. Rabbits were impressive last week.
Yeah, they were. Or were the Roosters just really bad?
Roosters aren't playing good.
No.
I know that. But you got to give credit to the Rabbits because that's an emotional game for both these guys. There was a lot on the line for Latrell. You got to give Latrell some credit, man. Like his first run, he ran straight at Joey Manu. Yeah. He gave him ample opportunity to flog him. Lucky Joey nearly didn't cave his head in because it was a bit of a head clash. But he was in there for the challenge. He give all those Roosters players ample opportunity to fix that up, and they just couldn't get him.
Yeah,
he got the last laugh. He got a couple of tries in there. He's still probably about 3 or 4 weeks away from his prime.
Yeah, for sure.
So credit to Latrell. Like the big stage doesn't worry that kid, man. Panthers, they're going to be hard to beat.
Panthers are actually I don't know. They've just got that air of the Storm about them. Like they get an injury, they bring in a kid like that Taylor May. All of a sudden, he scores 3 tries. You know, they've just
and they're Brian Toto clone.
Yeah. So they've
Is that him?
Yeah. So he'll basically. I think Charlie Staines will go.
Charlie Staines, no, he played outstanding. That's the hardest I've seen that kid run. I think he knows he's under pressure.
He's under pressure.
He's under pressure. So when Toto comes back, he's got 8 weeks, but that's the hardest I've seen him run. Usually he runs that fast when he's in the clear.
Yeah.
But he was doing some play twos, man. That was some solid runs. He was finding his front. He was outstanding, I thought.
He was running like he stole something.
Yeah.
So the Rabbitohs, look, they're finding their feet. And if I don't, and here's another thing with the Tigers, I don't want to hear about how the Rabbitohs are going to go with Adam Reynolds anymore. Like the kid in the jersey,
he's a good 7.
He's doing a job.
He can play. He's got all the skills. He's just got to get him time, build those combinations. But I was more impressed with South's forward pack.
Yeah,
they were all over the Roosters.
Roosters were bad.
Cam Murray was outstanding, but like Totola and, like a few of those other blokes, Jai Arrow, Kaloa Matangi, like they were animals, man. They were really up for that game. Their back 5 was good. They were always good. So, it'd be a good game. Be a good tester for the Rabbits.
The Warriors and the Broncos bubble burst in. Where's Moreton Daily Stadium? What's that?
I would not have a clue.
Is that a country? Oh, they must be going country.
Moreton Bay?
Morton Stock.
Yeah. I don't know. Broncos and Warriors, that'd be a low game.
That's it?
Yeah, that's it.
All right. Manly Raiders.
Sorry, go back to I digress. Broncos, did we see the real Broncos on the weekend? Were the first 2 games flukes?
I feel like the Cowboys are pretty good.
Well, the Cowboys are outstanding. Okay, we'll go with that.
Let's give them one more chance.
Yeah.
The Broncos before we burn the jerseys.
Yeah.
Adam Reynolds actually was a bit off, to be honest. I don't think
some crucial kicks out in the full that really changed momentum.
Yeah, he looked
bad.
rattled. He did look rattled. A bit of pressure up there.
Massive pressure, man. Eagles, Raiders. Eagles, man. I thought they were off. In the first half against the Bulldogs, and their line speed was awful. And that's what I was saying. The best thing that happened to the Eagles was halftime. They come out with a whole different demeanour. Their defence was outstanding. Even though I thought our boys defended really well. I thought Shop handled Trbojevic, but I don't think they're that hard to handle because you just go, "Where's Tommy?" And then you just put another number there, and that's what you do. You just got to see where Tommy is because you're trying to dare like Cherry Evans to do something else, and he was off. Even though that field goal was clunky as hell, it still went over. But he looked a little bit off. His passes are off. His running game a little bit like that. So it's going to take a little bit for them to gel. I'm not sure why they're so far off because they've got exactly the same team as last year.
Yeah, they do. Well, I mean, the difference is Trbojevic carried him on his back last year.
Yeah, that is a big difference, mate. He made everyone have a look at Saab and the other winger, Garrick.
Yeah.
They look like fucking Origin stars last year.
Yeah. Saab's so quick, he just gets no ball.
He's a target. They kick that way because he's 6'6".
He's 8'10".
And I don't think, they test his toughness. You know what I mean? So they kick it to him because, Garrick can sort of find his front, but Saab's got a lot of space to hit. Long legs. Long legs, you can hold him up, you can drive him back. So that's why they always kick that way. And they know Tommy doesn't like coming out from that side. That's why Tom Torroy is just taking hit-ups like a fucking back rower. Off the 9, he's trying to do everything, mate. And he's just trying to find his way back into the game and he's out the back, he's running one off the ruck. He's doing everything.
At Glen Willow Oval, that is.
Yeah, it sounds mad.
That's a good spot. We should go there.
Cows and Roosters, eh?
Roosters, how are the Roosters $1.45?
Because they're the Roosters.
Yeah.
What do you think with the Roosters? I think they're just a little bit off. They're missing Jake Friend or a decent 9.
They're missing Barrels. When he comes back, then I think it'll make a difference. But look, this isn't the first time that the Roosters have started slowly and then come good at the end. I'm not.
They don't have that team anymore.
Yeah, they've got players though. You can't look at that. So Tedesco looked like he was panicked.
Teddy probably played the worst game I've seen that kid play in like 5 years.
He was pressuring, he just felt pressure, and he was making mistakes, and he was trying to involve himself when he didn't need.
Just overplayed his hand a little bit, and I think he'll learn from that. He's a seasoned vet. He's one of the best players in the game still. So I'm pretty sure they'll be looking to hit back.
Their problem was the forwards. So
They got dominated.
Got dominated.
So, you know, when that usually happens to a team like the Roosters, they'll come back and that next team is going to get dealt with.
Well,
but the Cows are good. They were impressive.
Good forward pack. And
I thought Jordan McLean, I was a bit harsh on him last time, but I thought he was probably their best forward. Taumalolo did 51 minutes and they give him a rest. They were like, all right, well done. You don't have to go back on. Let these young bulls get on there and do it without you. So I think they got that confidence there. And I thought their halves were outstanding. Townsend's kicking game, like he out-kicked Reynolds. I thought they were good. I thought they were Val Holmes.
He was great.
He schooled Katoni Staggs. Like he was dominant. That's the best I've seen him. That's the best I've seen Val Holmes play for a while.
Yeah. Cowboys looked all right. So
we'll
good.
See. I think I backed the Cows.
I don't know what you backed. I don't care.
Storm Bulldogs.
Go on then.
Well, the Storm, I don't think have ever lost back-to-back games in Melbourne. Ever. So this is
fact.
And you know, we've got them. It's going to be hard. Let's just not get it twisted. Like we're going to have to be on and just play the perfect game to beat Melbourne. You always got to do that. That's it.
That's good.
What do you think?
I don't want to tell you what I think.
Tell me what you think. I can't.
I think that the Storm are going. They've got Grant back. I think they will be very, very disappointed. Parramatta have got the wood on them a little bit though.
Yeah, they have.
So I think that the Storm will put on a clinic, and I think the Bulldogs, I think they'll hold them for 60 minutes.
Yeah, I don't think that they're not that team enough. I think they can defend for 80 minutes now. So I just think they'll be in it defensively. They've been struggling to score points.
Yeah.
And Melbourne, you know, are notably like the one of the best defensive teams in the game. So we're going to have to be on our game.
And the last game, the Eels versus the Dragons, this would have been extremely good in 1985. Somewhere between 83 to 87, this would have been a cracking game of footy.
Who did the Dragons play on the weekend?
Who did the Dragons play?
Who did they play?
The Sharks. They got handled. Yeah. They got handled. So the Dragons have got...
Eels are the form team, I reckon.
Yeah, Eels are good. I mean, look, they let in a lot of points against in the first two rounds, but they looked like they
can fix their defence up.
Yeah,
like Dylan Brown is key. He was very quiet by his standards last year, and this year he's running the ball, he's attacking. I think he was a little bit injured last year, he was a little bit underdone, but this year he's back to the Dylan Brown. He's made line break after line break, try assist. He had 3 try assists last year.
Yeah,
I think he's already on 2. And he's made about 5 clean line breaks. So he's the key to that side. So it takes a little bit of pressure off Moses.
They're a much better team when he runs.
Yeah, he's a runner. He's a gun.
All right, well,
let's go.
Willie's Big Boys.
All right, the big boys are at it again. They were outstanding. There's a couple of games that were like, you know, sort of wet weather, and it sort of suited some of the big boys because they just get the ball, just wrap it under their arm and just smack the shit out of everyone. My number one vote is Siosifa Talakai. Have you seen this kid? He's an absolute animal. He wears 12. I think he played in the middle, dominated that. He goes out into the centres, jumps over like another centre. I don't think he's the biggest guy. Scores a try. His defence, he hits like a fucking truck. You're never running at that guy. Like, he's just the full package. He's so explosive. I rate him so high. I'll give him 1 point, only because they played against a pretty poor side. 2, Regan Campbell-Gillard. I think it was close to 185, 195 metres, like 55 minutes in the middle. Like, it was just relentless in that. And when you play against Melbourne, you know you're up for a battle. That's why I had to give him 2 points, and that's, you know, I think he made over 30 tackles, like 95% effective tackler. Like, he just made a real impact because, you know, you're going against big Nars down there and Jesse Bromwich, and, you know, you got a decent pack there. And Melbourne, everyone who knows Melbourne knows you can barely, if you make over 100 metres in the middle, you've done well.
Yeah.
And that's why Junior Paulo, again, like 180 metres, you know, like I think he played 60 minutes or something like in the middle. Just big minutes for the big man. Like, he just moves around the field. He's got a great offload, pre-line pass. He's like a number 7 with a 130-kilo body. You know what I mean? He hits like a truck. He was just an absolute beast, and that's why I give him those two blokes 2 and 3, 2 points and 3 points because they played Melbourne.
Yeah.
in Melbourne, and everybody knows that is the hardest task in rugby league. So well done to those three guys. But my man Talakai, geez, he's an absolute beast. I would not like to tackle him.
Well, he's probably going to get, like, when you think about it, if he's playing in the centres this week, Wade Graham comes back, their backs come, he's probably drops out, which is a shame.
No, he's got to be safe. He'll stay inside. Anyway,
put him on the bench.
Well done, boys.
Junior Paulo is on 5 points. Payne Haas and Jason Taumalolo, the $1 Million Men, are on 3 points, and Campbell Gillard and Tyson Frizzell are on 2 points. All right. Well, we've been on fire, Will. Do you know how much we've raised?
$0.
$0.
Well done, guys.
$0. We've been, I'd like to thank our sponsors. No, this is the week, though. This is the week we are going to really come into our own. So I have gone the Titans head-to-head, the Panthers head-to-head, and the Sharks 1-12 to give it a bit of value because I feel like the Knights aren't going to get flogged. And that is going to pay $5.20.
Right.
It's a guarantee.
Oh, well. What is mine? Titans, Sharks, Rabbits for the win? Is that how you read it?
So Titans, Sharks, Rabbits with 7.5 start.
Take the 7.5 start. Alex Johnson, anytime try scorer. Daniel Tupou, anytime try scorer.
And that gives you $9.23.
Yeah,
for
$461.
Correct.
That's a big chance, that.
You like that?
I did study the guide, as you could tell.
I can tell. Whenever you send me a text
with
someone else
and it's a screenshot,
then
I've been studying the guide
Will
all weekend.
Been just
fucking
relentless. Yep.
Just studying the whole weekend.
Big shout out to whoever's Will's feeding his tips. Do better.
Bobby Mullier, my man.
Be better, Bob.
This is the first tips he's gave me.
No, you've actually
the last 3 weeks that was just me just going, see what happens.
Whenever there's an anytime try score, I know it's you.
And a start. I didn't even know how to fucking read it.
The producer has tipped the Rabbitohs, the Roosters, and the Eels.
He's really thought about that, hasn't he?
Where's the value there? Oh, the Rabbitohs beating the Panthers.
No, well.
So that's we won't even worry.
That sucks. He's in Melbourne now anyway, so who cares about him?
It's paying $0. Tips, Will.
All right.
Tips.
Huh.
Do you want to just read out who's in front? Just tell me who's in front.
Did I only get 3 last week?
I don't know. I got more than you, obviously. Though.
Well, you're on 16, I'm on 15, and the producer's on 11.
What does a producer offer?
I don't know.
Honestly,
not much.
He's not even here. He doesn't do anything.
But honestly, how many did you get last week? Like 5?
I must have.
I only got 4. I only got 3, didn't I? Oh. Terrible. Anyway, my tips for the week: Titans, Sharks, Penrith, Broncos, Raiders, Cowboys, Storm, and Eels.
And I have gone the same for you, except that I have picked Manly over the Raiders and I've picked the Roosters over the Cowboys, which I don't really think will happen, but I tipped it.
Well.
And the producer we don't care about.
Titans, Knights, Penrith, Broncos, Raiders, Roosters, Storm, Eels.
So just to recap, the producer is 5 games behind me after 3 rounds.
He's hopeless.
That is just embarrassing. All right, so Will, what I'm going to do every week, because as I have said, I'm now in charge of the Twitter thing. What do you
Twitter sphere. You own it.
Account. I actually bought Twitter. It cost me $6.8 billion. So I am in charge of the Twitter account. So I'm quite enjoying the old Twitter, but
it's not too bad.
I'm going to send out every week. I'm going to send out questions.
What game are we going to do? I reckon we're going to do the Panthers and Rabbits.
All right, just quickly, NRL Fans United wants to know your attack on the Dogs. Any good?
My attack on the Dogs?
No, how's the Dogs' attack going? Sweeping plays from Dusty?
They just need about 6 weeks to gel. Just got to give it time, guys. Give it time.
And the other one from Jay Ross, is it going to be a long year and end with a spoon for us West Tigers fans? Sadly, I think I know the answer. You answered your own question.
I'm sorry, mate. Yes.
But get involved. Send us questions. We'll answer them. Unless they're asking why I'm
bagging the shit out of us.
Fat heat wearing short shorts. Bye, everyone.
Peace.
I'll be following Willie more and more. Back in the NRL is Willie Mason.
I've forgotten how big Willie actually is.
Perhaps the presence of Willie had the Panthers looking at his imposing frame.
I'm a 25-minute man. Plus. Oh, you got skill, son.
Uppercut right hand by Big Willie.
Too fancy for you.
You've been listening to The Take with Willie Mason and co-host Ian Byrne. Produced by Craig Trewick, recorded and engineered by Zig Parker of Green Room Sydney, and presented by the Handshake Media Network.